Jeezy Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian, and Randy Savage. Me talk about Jeezy Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian, and Randy Savage. Me talk about Jeezy Sports. Check
Another episode of Jeezy Sports. Here with your boy Randy Savage, accompanied by Jackson Brian. And I know it's a little bit different. You know, we have to switch it up a little bit sometimes. But today is strictly a GC Sports transfer show. You know, as I said, trying to mix it up a little bit. Jackson, how are you? Vamos.
Vamos, yo. We're here. We're there, we're everywhere. Funny story, I actually had no cable from yesterday. And I got it back like 20 minutes ago. So I missed every bit of Premier League action today. Bar Newcastle's thrashing. I saw that. I woke up early for that, but you know.
I understand, man. And speaking of Newcastle's thrashing, do you think that this is a perfect time for Manchester United to capitalize? I won't speak too much about the injury situation, because I'm going to bring that up a little bit further down, but do you think with the current players who are available, do you think that maybe the greatest defender of all time, Phil Jones, will be able to play? And can you see us getting a positive result against the Forest? We know the Forest have been going a little bit up recently. I'm securing some good results for their relegation scrap, which I don't really like, but that's just football. So the question is, do you see us struggling tomorrow against Forest? And by struggle, I mean a draw or a loss. Because to draw against Forest, as Manchester United, well, it would be a struggle, you know. So, what do you make of this?
Well, listen, when Forest line up tomorrow, I think they're going to have Gibbs White, Dennis, and Sam Surridge. And when they line up and they look across and say, who they playing at centre-back? And they see, Harry Maguire! Oh, they're going to feel like they have a chance. They are going to feel like they have a chance, especially at the City ground. It's not going to be an easy game. Do we struggle? Well, yeah, we're going to kind of have to. 3 of the starting back 4 are out injured. There are reports Luke Shaw may be fit for tomorrow, but we're not sure about that. Then the midfield, you only have Casemiro, Bruno and Eriksen. Sabitzer is playing well. You don't have a number 9 because Martial can't do 90 minutes. It is gonna actually be a struggle for United tomorrow. I'm hoping they can grind out a result. And yeah, it is a perfect time. I mean, Newcastle are finally slipping. You got to take advantage of this. Spurs are slipping. Everybody's slipping. You just don't follow the fashion. You're going to have to do your own thing. Hopefully United can take the 3 points, you know, and pull away, because I don't think there's a top 4 race anyway.
Yeah, that is for sure. You know, Newcastle has been winning a lot recently. They beat us the other day as well, I believe. But yeah, perfect time for us to capitalize. Maguire in the defense, as you said, we're struggling a little bit. Thoughts on the match in midweek? The Europa League match, there's a lot of controversy surrounding it, you know. Varane and Martinez both off with injuries. And Bruno slated to miss the next leg. You know, Jackson, honest opinions, do you think that we can win in Sociedad? I mean, in Seville, sorry.
Yeah.
Considering that we do not have any of our main players. We know we still have Casemiro. We still do have the likes of Anthony. We still have Jadon Sancho that we can call upon going forward at least. You know, Weghorst, Alanga. Although I'm a little bit upset at Weghorst, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you see us having any chance, considering that the defense that we will be fielding will be significantly, significantly diminished. Yes, diminished compared to normal. Do you think that we have a chance against quite possibly the best team in Europa League history, Seville?
Well, there's always a chance, you know. We've seen that Solskjaer taught us that there's always a chance. We've had worse teams in worse situations. You can always remember when Solskjaer took over and we played PSG. I mean, didn't Chang, Gomez, and Greenwood have to play? Of McTominay, Fred, Pereira, Bailly at right back. It was awful, man. And we came out on top. We just have to believe because we are Manchester United. You know, we should be able to take out Sevilla. I know they're Europa League merchants. I still don't know how you can win the Europa League 3 years in a row. What the hell? But you know, I still don't get what happened on Thursday night. I'm flabbergasted. You're up 2-0, simple. We knew that was. I saw when Varane made the initial header, I saw him not running back. I said he's injured because Varane is never slacking off. And then he came off half time, and then Harry came on, and you know everything just went down. I know Ten Hag took Bruno off because he said the ref said he'll send him off, whatever. Ref's an idiot. Lamela should have got sent off. If Casemiro did that, he would have gotten sent off. I'm not even debating that. But yeah, I think we should have enough. I mean, we played in Seville a few weeks ago when we beat Betis, so it should just be the same thing. And you mentioned Jones at the start, you know. Lord Phil is back. Listen, he's not trained since Eric's been there. Now, for him to start training and be match fit for Thursday or even for Forest, I don't see that happening. But if Lord Phil does play, can you imagine a winner with Sevilla's the way they set their seats, man? I have dead people, but my God, it would be a scene.
It would indeed. It would be a scene indeed. Do you think that coming this summer we should maybe, get a next centre back in order to maybe, tap up our defence? Because this proves Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong in our injury department at the very least. That's something we're going to talk about that. Right now, at least 5 or 6 of our main first team players currently have knocks or long-term injuries. We know Martinez is out for the rest of the season. Varane is slated to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. Rashford, the same time frame, right? Eriksen's just getting back from injury, so there's a chance that he may aggravate it if we rely on him too much. Jackson, do you think that we need more centre-back depth? I know people have been saying that we need more depth overall, but do you think we need more centre-back depth going into next season?
Yeah, short answer, yes. I mean, you can't rely on Varane and Martinez for the whole season, as right now it does prove. And Maguire and Lindelof, the type of centre halves that play the same way. I mean, maybe Lindelof can, but I'm not sure about Maguire. And we really both have question marks. Yeah.
I'm sorry for jumping in, but I have a little question, right?
Yeah.
One of my friends who know about this show, he asked me to ask you a question as it relates to our injury problems, and I think it's very interesting. And he's saying that we don't necessarily need a new centre-back. And the reason for this is because we have Luke Shaw. Now, I was questioning it until he brought up the fact that Luke Shaw was playing as centre-back for a couple of games this season, right? And also the fact that Fred and possibly Casemiro could slot into that centre-back role. Maybe Casemiro, I'm not so sure about Fred. Jackson, what do you make of this take? Because it certainly is interesting.
Well, all I'd have to say is that I don't think Luke Shaw's fit right now, so we're back at square one with it. That's the whole point. I know that Luke Shaw can play there. I'm actually advocating for him to be back for Forest, so he can play alongside Casemiro in the back. I mean, Sabitzer is getting a good run. Eriksen does need some match fitness. Fred hasn't played in a while, so he deserves a game. So it can work. But we do need a centre half. We can't. And another thing with the left back, with Luke Shaw at centre half, I know we have Malacia and Alvaro Fernandez is doing well in the Championship. That's why some people do like that left hand side. But you're gonna need a centre half just to have someone who's specialist at the position. Luke Shaw played well a couple of times. It's not guaranteed he'll play the same way every time he slots in at centre half, right? Player I know that United should be looking at, because it's with the sale, with or without the sale doing, it can be an easy deal done. It's Evan Ndika. He's a free agent at the end of the season, left-footed centre half. I think he's about 23 years old. He's not a starter for France, so it's not going to be a huge competition to get him over Martinez, but he will provide good competition in the depth. And I think we would still need another one if we're not going to use one from the academy. But I don't think Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Fred. Bloody Fred in the back line. Can you imagine that?
We concede 9.
That would be brilliant, man.
But yes. Thank you for that input, and thank you for the questions. As you know, you can always ask us questions either personally with our Twitter handles or GZ_sports at Twitter. On Twitter, I should say. But moving on from that piece of Manchester United news to another piece of Manchester United news. Speaking of the sale, I heard you mention it earlier. It has been revealed yesterday that the Glazers are opening a third round of bids. This is absurd, Jackson. This is just clearly a money grab. This is clearly just trying to milk as much money as possible out of the franchise in your last months in charge. Why? Right? The Qatari are there. They're bidding. They've bid the most anyone is willing to offer. Right? INEOS came in. So far, they've said that this is a farce and pulled out. Jackson, do you think that if the Glazers don't accept this round, it could push Al-Thani and the Qatari to relinquish their bids? Because at this point, that's what I'm worrying about. Because these guys have no respect for the club, no respect for the fan base, and no respect for the people who are willing to buy. Because if you did, this wouldn't have been happening. We would have been having new owners now. Club would have been sold for $4.25 or $4.5 billion already. You would have been on your merry way to the United States, and we would have our oil, well, not oil, we'd have our royal family. Jackson, I'm sick and tired of the Glazers now. What do you make of this situation? This farce of a situation?
Listen, I'm glad that you mentioned America in that. You see, I've been noticing something very interesting. So the Washington Commanders, that's an NFL team, right? You know the Glazers own Tampa Bay. The Washington Commanders were up for sale. And if the Glazers said, well, they didn't literally say it, but it came out from sources close to them, that they want a world record fee for the sports team. The Washington Commanders was confirmed sold 2 days ago for $6 billion. They're not going to budge on anything less than that because they want the world record fee for this. So that being sold at that price, I mean, that was done quickly. That was done in about 2 months. Easy. They're not going to want this to be any less because when they go back to the States, they're going to say, oh, you got a cheap team, whatever. You know, it's not going to be the same. I think they're just holding out for that money. I mean, look, there's even talks of investment funds. And believe me, that is not helping anybody in this situation. Because when you're an investment fund, you're going to need money back. And United is not generating enough money for investors. It's not. It needs just put money, go away. And, you know, I mean, Thomas Ziliakis, he's pulled out the Finnish entrepreneur. He says this is none of that. They want to sit and negotiate with the Glazers, basically. Ziliakis, Sir Jim Radcliffe, Qatari, and some other guys, I heard the Boston Celtics owner as well. They're all willing to sit and negotiate because they've all offered north of £4.5 billion. And they're all willing to sit and negotiate and see what they can work out in regards to the full sale of the club. And they want to have it done quickly. I mean, it's almost a summer window. You know, people are, reports come out, we want Jude Bellingham. Well, City and Real Madrid have been having discussions with his representatives for the past number of months. So have Liverpool. All the players that are going to move now, you have to start speaking to them, getting them interested, having their options open now. You don't just swoop in and say, oh, here's 150 million euros and there's 300 grand a week. It doesn't work like that. People don't just jump at that opportunity.